you do have the Phillies and the Astros, and you have more accusations of Astros cheating, or is it just a bit? It's not what you want if you are a Houston fan, but that is what we find ourselves in as Game 3 of the World Series is set to take place later tonight, barring a rain delay. So this billboard appears out of nowhere, seemingly, in Philadelphia, trolling Houston for stealing signs. Is the bid over, John?
So
I say it's never over.
I
hold grudges.
But let's accept this for what it is. This Astros team is really freaking good at baseball. They're really good. And there's no indications that we've seen past the accusations this past weekend with Framber Valdez and all these different conspiracy theories that came up that he was hiding something under his glove or whatever it may have been. I think what's important to note, Mia, is that Philadelphia has not had a chance to troll Houston just yet. Mm-hmm. They've not had an opportunity to do so. This is their first time hosting them at Citizens Bank Park. I'll let them get away with it. But I do think as time goes on, it's time to let this thing go. This is a new regime there. There's a lot of new players who weren't involved in 2017. And the reality is the Astros, as of this moment, have only won one World Series since all this happened. And it was the year that it happened. Could that change this year? I think it will. I'm enjoying the hell out of this World Series. I don't know how much you've watched from it. Game 1 was incredible.
Yeah.
And Game 2 was competitive and really good. The Phillies are a good match for the Astros. So I understand you take the cheap shots, but you don't want to hit too far below the belt because that's how people get pissed off. And that's how you encourage a team to go on a hot run.
Yeah, but you know me. I love to take those cheap shots. I take them still.
You're full of them.
People have been holding grudges for since middle school. I'm still out here taking cheap shots, so I ain't gonna never let the bit die, personally. Especially as a Yankees fan, no, it's not over. It's never over. Even when Jose Altuve is the only one left from that 2017 team in the starting lineup, it will still never be over. But no, I do agree. I think the Astros pitching staff, if you subscribe to the theory of offense sells tickets, defense wins championships, pitching wins championships. Yeah. I mean, right now they are as championship caliber as they come, the pitching staff for the Astros. The Phillies pitching staff has held serve. Aaron Nola obviously has come on in the postseason. But for me with Philly, it's the bats. And I do think that there is something to be said about getting hot at the right time. I've talked about it on this program. I've talked about it on a lot of other programs. The reason the Braves won a World Series last year is because their bats got hot at the right time. They had pretty good, consistent pitching throughout the course of the 2021 season. But when the bats got hot, even without Ronald Acuna Jr., they were still able to put something together. And the Phillies literally have their best player on their team, the one they are paying the most money to, who is finally awakening after, in my opinion, obviously being an MVP candidate at times throughout the past decade. But Bryce Harper, for me, has never actually established himself as the guy, like a Mike Trout or an Aaron Judge, personally, just in terms of being the undisputed best player in the game of baseball. Quite frankly, he just hasn't. Like, the talent's been there, never a question. It's kind of like the debate of the 2021 quarterback class. You look great. You look great on, at batting practice, and you're a great high school prospect. And I think he's a good player. I think he's been a top 5, top 10 player, but he's not Mike Trout and he's not Aaron Judge. But this postseason, he is proving me wrong. And he is proving that him and the Nationals, the Phillies that he plays for, he's going to bring a championship to Philadelphia.
Boy, that is a take. I wasn't expecting to veer into that direction.
Yep. Nope. I truly, because also there are a lot of people out there, regardless of sport, who also believe that wins and championships are what make you an elite player. That's what gets you into the Hall of Fame.
I definitely agree that they matter.
He left and his team won a World Series.
But that wasn't in spite of him.
Yeah, but why didn't they win it before?
I mean, we're talking about a 2-time MVP here that is very much on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
I think that's, but at the same time, when people ask you who's the best player in baseball right now,
he's actually ahead of where Mike Trout was at this age in terms of his similarity score.
Which is crazy considering he's played in 2 East Coast markets. You would think that we would be talking about him more.
And his most similar batter through age 29 in terms of his compatibility is Barry Bonds. So
I'm just saying, when you look at baseball from a 30,000-foot view, who are they marketing? Who are they marketing? Mike Trout.
Baseball doesn't market
That's
anybody.
that's also it's a bigger issue. You're right.
Baseball's
You're right.
marketing
But who do you hear about? Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge is the one you
Mike
hear about 'cause
Trout.
he's in New York.
I mean, Philly and Washington aren't that far away. It's not like he was playing in Milwaukee or Cincinnati.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know. I don't know about that take. But my point is here that you want to be careful where you're hitting below the belt, because if you make the giant a little angry, well, then things could get ugly. And that
Karma
leads
is
us,
a god.
That's right. And that leads us to our final story here. This is a good one, a little kicker, if you will, but you weren't kicking anything through the uprights. You see, it was homecoming at Hampden-Sydney College this past weekend. It's a D3 school. They hosted Guilford. And there was one problem with this game, Mia.
What was the problem, John?
They could only use one end zone for it, because this is what happened to the opposite goalpost here. That is the definition of it's not what you want. And
I love the gasp in the background as they're watching this security camera footage.
Hampden-Sydney wins the game 28-21. So I pose to you, is this redefining home field advantage?
So they literally
they knocked down the other goalpost and
right.
Won
So
the
you
game.
literally just went one way, and then
You
the
just
other team went the same way.
Turn it around.
How could it be home field advantage though if you both are going the same way the entire game?
Well, maybe you know the field, you know where the wind's going to be blowing at a certain time during the game. That matters. They won by a touchdown. It's a close game.
Did they bury the goalposts in the ocean? Though?
I don't know about that.
That's all I really care about.
I don't think they did. I'm going to give my input so you can chug some of that tea because we're wrapping up here. So I think that we have had a weird occurrence of goalposts disappearing and being dismantled in the past few weeks. And I just want to say that I'm tired of it. I think we need to show
disrespect to the goalposts.
We need to show a little more respect to goalposts out there. This is crazy because this just reads like something that would happen on the blacktop. Hey guys, there's a car parked in that end zone over there. So we actually have to flip things around and we have to go this way. Now, if Mr. Robinson has to come out and walk the dog over by there, we'll have to move, but just try to keep it in that little periphery. If you
I just want to know, did the guy report it immediately?
Or... No, I don't think they knew.
Mysteriously, the goalpost was down.
Publicly say what happened until a few days later when I'm sure the university officials knew, but they didn't publicly say what happened until a few days later.
Did Guilford know what happened?
I would hope that they knew. They walked right into a loss there on homecoming. Man, this is my last game. And that's why we have the weekly wager. Is it starting to get to you?
No, it just went down the wrong pipe.
Okay.
It made me laugh. Talking about the goalposts.
This is homecoming. This is our last game ever. And at home. And man, I've loved this sport. I've played it my whole life. I'm 22 years old. And the last game of my career at home will not have two goalposts.
But let's say Guilford had won. If Guilford had won, then we don't hear about it. We hear about the fact that they played with one goalpost. We hear about that.
Maybe it doesn't become a problem.
I want to know how, how quickly. I mean, I know Tennessee, when they lost their goalposts, they had extras hiding in a supply closet somewhere. Mm-hmm. How soon can my D3s get there?
I don't know about that. The school field looked like what you would see at your standard middle America high school.
It's not Butterfield Stadium, I'll tell you that much.
It is not anything that would support suites for that matter. So I would say that investing in a goalpost, especially as a D3 school, probably is a little costly.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't plan on it.
No.
You don't want to just keep one. I mean, maybe it is like a spare tire though these days. Maybe you should. Just keep it, keep the parts at least lying around somewhere.
Maybe you should. If you want to send us your thoughts, guys, last chance to do so here on Out of Bounds, Super Chats on YouTube or kynchat.com. Mia O'Brien, we are at the 53-minute mark of this show. We are finished with our rundown.
Mm-hmm.
How much more of this tea do we have? Because you did lose the weekly wager.
Yeah, I know. I got probably like a sixth of it left right now.
You're close.
I'm closing in. The throat coughing there had to give a second
A
to.
lot of sugar there.
Yeah. Also, just the fact that I'm getting my tonsils out next year, like, still, yeah.
See, I got mine taken out when I was in second grade. So
yeah, you lucky duck. Not all of us were that lucky. And even when we were advised in college to get them out, we did not.
If you want to see all our videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, click the subscribe button below. Otherwise, we'll start posting spoilers about your favorite new movies.